Welcome, my people. Long time no see. It's been a long time, and I just have to apologize ahead for any noise you hear because this place I moved to, I thought, oh, it would be good for videos, but there is always constant noise just right next door. There, I can even shout hello to them. They are building, and they've been doing that since November, Monday to Sunday, every day. So even yesterday, Easter Sunday, they were doing that. Long story short, you might hear some noises. I'm very sorry. Please do accept me like that. I've been looking for how to do it, but it's been hard. I even went somewhere one time to shoot a video and it wasn't really great. I still have to reshoot that. So now, welcome back to another edition of I Review a Movie. And this time around, we are going to review the much touted Anikulapo, the series. And recently I posted the previous one I made on my previous channel, and well, it's been going up well, and now I'm here to review the series. And well, where were we last time? So at the end of the movie, Saro died. Yeah, or we thought he died. Then I was already wondering, what are they going to do in the series this time around? Like, is it going to be nice? Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you if it's going to be nice, or if it is nice rather. Now, the synopsis is that Saro had the Akala's birth mystic power of raising people. He got it from his then wife, or then their common law marriage wife, Arolake, and a lot of things happened. He died, and now we're going to watch how he came back to life due to something, some basically from the beginning, because that's one of the first things you see. Basically, God was, God was angry that okay, you these people should have been dead, but you didn't. You woke them up, so you have to go back to earth and kill them, and then you will come back before you be able to enter heaven and stuff. So he was sent back to earth, and then while he was at this point, we're killing all these people up and down. He had killed three so far. He saw a woman when he wanted to kill the fourth one, and the woman had some powers and said she turned into an Akudaya. And in Yoruba land, Akudaya is someone that is reincarnated, but not in someone else. Basically, comes back to life, but they can't go to where people know them. They can't see the people they know, so they have to live another life somewhere else. Once they see someone that knows them, they'll disappear and go somewhere else. Yeah, so I hope you like my dress up. I'm trying to channel the olden days thing, just like in Anikulapo. A lot of things happened. The people from Oyo, they started looking for Arolake because I think she needed to do some atonement, some sacrifices to make everything start going well in the village back. And of course, Saro too. So a lot of things that happened. Arolake thought Saro was there, so she was looking for her own, life, trying to make a new life somewhere for herself. And Saro too, in the process, got married again. A whole lot of things happened. Now we are going into that. So basically, I don't want to say what happened, everything, but at the end, I just want to say that at the end, Sarah is the only strong man that has dated a millennial and a Gen Z, and is it Gen Xer we should call it, or in some cases we should even say not a baby boomer or something like that. So he was able to date people in different generations, and at the end of the day, he was even able to bring them together. Now I want to go into things that I like. The cinematography is good, the color, the tribal marks. If you watch my previous video, my review, I complained about how the tribal marks was really terrible, but this time around they got it better. Akim effect, well done. Yeah, so the tribal marks, I like the costume. It was varied. Had a lot of varied outfits. We had the aso-oke, we had the adire, and they didn't use just one style in their dress. If you've watched my previous one too, you know that I complained about this. Maybe I should talk louder. You know that I complained about this and how the style of what Saro was wearing in some scenes with the wife of Akinke Kazim in the other village was similar, and the woman kept on repeating clothes as per the wife of a king, the queen. I should not have expected. That is not expected. And the clothes then, they did not look worn. They looked like they just made them for this movie. But this time they used different types. Even their adire, did not look as if it's just new, they just made it. They broke it in, they looked real, and there was even mixture of clothes, like maybe someone is using adire buba, and then there's aso-oke, iro and gele, which is similar to how they used to dress in those days, even till now. So then it was just adire, but now they mix it up. I like the costume, the necklace, the earrings, the everything. They really tried. The only part that took me out was the what was it called? The veil that Aralake had to wear when she was disguising herself, and it just was like it felt like I think is it the boka or what the Muslims call it, that they used to cover Elias, and it felt like I don't think they had this in those days. Now, yes, I said I like the bed, the large outpost, and extensive props. You know, when they said that someone is cooking or whatever, someone is very rich, they have yams, tubers of yam, pepper, everything. It was very extensive. I could believe that this is a town. In my previous video, I said it just felt like a set for this movie, because Alaafin, the Oyo Empire, I'm gonna say, was just used. It was just some limbs of trees that was used as barricade. But now they did the outpost well, the gate made of mud, stuff like that, and I really liked to see the improvement. I really like this. It was really nice. Like when Arolake was looking for an apartment, they took her to different places. Although yes, it looks like they just built these places, but at least it was different, and you can assume that, oh, they just built these houses and they are looking for people to move in. You can excuse them like that. But I really like that. Then what else? Now to what I don't like. Number one, the airy armpit. I'm like, okay, yes, when you look at it, in those days we did not have shaving stick and all that. It was all airy armpit and all that. But we could have done without you staying true to the era on that aspect. You did not need to show us extensively for that matter. And the one under Aralake's armpit was, it looked like, no, you just gummed it. It wasn't, no, my that's not how armpit is. No, na Omara Kere, like it would be soft and sometimes leaky. But this one was, and Lateef's zone ever. I'm even wondering that is Lateef's zone even real, or they gone air to it too. You could have just, I like that you're trying to stay true to the era, but you could have, spared us that sight. It was not nice. Then the lion at the Alaafin's palace, it looks mad. What happened? I know that we do sculptures well, so I feel like they could have gotten someone to do the sculpture better, just like the alligator. The alligator just looks like it has human limbs. If you look at so big, so fat, I'm like, we could have done without these things, or gotten someone that would do a better work. No, especially those lions. Those lions look like they are mad. Like they went to Aro Yawalet and they came back again. They rejected them. Excuse me, although Aro and Yawalet does not take care of animals, but they actually really look insane, like mad. Then to other things I don't like, the time jump, e.g. Arolake's 3 year trek. It seemed as if Arolake trekked for 3 years. In the beginning, they're trying to show us each person's um journey as of that time. Then when I decided to focus on Saru, would have assumed that Arolake would have gotten somewhere and settled down. But then it now took us back to Arolake's journey. So it took me a while to be like, did Arolake trek for 3 years? And I said, oh, episode one was for Saru, episode two is for Arolake. So when you now went to episode three, it was someone else's POV. So it's not, now took us back again. So there was a lot of issues which I feel it affected them in some places. I can't really pinpoint those places now, but they too had problems. Sometimes they were unable to guess if it was 3 years they've been searching for someone, or a year and a half. So there were some discrepancies there too. How did Kuranga's people know that Bash was the culprit? So I would just so someone was killed and his people now found out that, oh, Bash was the culprit. Like, they didn't explain to us how they came about that, how they were able to find that out, a whole lot of things. And so let me just be reading from what I wrote here. So Oyo and its councilmen seem to be weak. like the Oyo as a state, the Alafin was feared. Yes, Ooni of Ife was the spiritual head and like should be the main the supreme king in Yoruba land. But Alaafin of Oyo has been like, should I say, the most powerful. And I remember the story of Bonka and Timi and how I was supporting Timi of Ede just because he was the underdog. But yeah, they made the Ede people to be more fearsome. They not even bring in maybe Timi of Ede storyline or so. They now brought Kuranga, some Hausa people that I never heard of in history, and then the Oyo people were just very, very weak. Sorry, I had to come out because the noise is too much. All right, so like I was saying, like Lawa Hardcore said that the king was just like the Alaafin was just like a playboy that just came to this world to look at backers and to have sex. It was not really bothered about the running of an empire. So the Oyomesi, like that's the Council of Oyo, too, were so, should I say, clueless. You're just like, I'm Gotamashi, you didn't know what you do, and all that. To the point that they were looking for Queen Arolake that left the thing. So because of the time jump, I think they also had issues. They were saying they've been they were it was like 3 years, but I knew that they started looking for her before even 1 year was up. So let's even say okay, after 3 years, it was after 3 years they started looking for her. Um, are you trying to tell me that there is no one in the guard that knows how she looks that you could send? So you now had to send new guards entirely that never seen her. So they brought a lot of girls that did not look in any way like her. So assuming they brought some girls that are similar to her, but their difference would have been understandable. But they just brought different shapes, different sizes, and they really did not even have any resemblance to her. And they were like, when Oba was complaining, like, we don't know. I'm like, 3 years, no one in the employ of the king was there when she was still queen 4 years ago. That means even if you are not in the employ of the king, you must have been in that village. So unless all the guards came from somewhere else entirely. So I'm like, so how come you're looking for someone? You did not even give them descriptions. You didn't even send someone that knows her. The only one that knows that you left him in the prison, and then it was the Basharan that was now making use of that person for his own evil deeds. I'm like, this does not make sense. It doesn't go in line with what I know of the Oyo Empire that should have been feared. Oyo way do with a lot of people. They're just like, no, 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 no. So I have a whole lot of things to say, but I don't think I will have time. So moving on, the fight scenes too. Like the fight scenes were terrible. After Basharan has been saying this, we will show her that we are this, we are that. They got to the fight scenes. The fight scenes were really terrible. I think they could do better. They could do better in that fight scene. Then I said how I wrote it. The fight scenes horrendous. Bash's death laughable, but it was not, no, it was so laughable, like, oh, this is the strong person that we thought, oh, will wage war against this. Sorry, I live near the train station. This is about time they pass. So you see why I have a lot of issues. The death was horrendous and laughable. Um, and I can't remember Bash in the story in previously until now. I'm like, so it's the way they wrote him in as if he was in the previous movie. But I can't remember him in the previous movie. And Awarun was made to be, yeah, so Awarun was made to be weak basically because she was someone feared in the movie. Then the series she became just a Basharun side chick and at his mercy. I feel like someone that was really wicked before, not so wicked, but someone that was feared and powerful, when it now becomes a case of protecting your own family, I feel like you're going to know be more ferocious. But no, no. Then Then suddenly, they didn't mention anything about Saro's previous family. That storyline just ended. The children did this, did that, nothing again. No one was even hearing of, we heard, and no one was even looking for him. I feel that was easily tidied away. He had at least two women with kids, and that part just ended. Then I said Adigun's very long journey back with Saro after he found Sarah and all that. As a hunter, he could not even mark out, not even know
how to go back again when it wasn't as if there was a charm. In that time, while he was journeying, Basharun went to somewhere else for weeks and came back. A whole lot of things had happened before he was not coming back. Like, it was not, I don't know, maybe they had issues with the timeline thing. Like I said, it was not correlating. And I said they did not even depict Hunter as well. They depicted the Hunter as someone that did not know how to track, did not know how to mark out road, and the parts, maybe because they wanted to use it to push the story, they said Adigun was beaten by a snake fatally, and it was Saro that woke him up, and because of that, he had to lie that Arolake and Saro were dead and all that. I'm like, as a hunter, Yoruba hunter, they are filled with charms. They know how to call out snake venom. So all the hunters gathered and they could not do anything, and within a minute he died. Which then also took me to, okay, so if it was Adigun, so they made it seem as if it was only Adigun that knew about Arolake and Saro's secret. But he went there with other hunters, and it was supposed to be early on when they left. So all these other hunters suddenly did not know what Arolake and Adigun and Saro were, and no one could. Like, for example, when you send some people to look for someone and you now find out years later that they actually found the person, you will actually call every one of them, not just one. I don't understand. Long story short, all the guards were just there looking till they found someone to wake him up. My grandma told me of what she was beating on the farm, and when they shouted and all that, it was a hunter that came and called out the venom. We see there's incantations. There are things you, oh no. That's why I like Jagun Jagun. I've done the review, but I've not edited it. They were able to call out the incantations of different trees. There are incantations for all these things. And then the hunter just died in a village. The highest are either the king, depending on how powerful the king is with charm. We have the Baloguns, the Ifas and all that. Then we have the hunters. The hunters too, sometimes the hunters are the ones defending a village, depending on the strong people they have in the village. Sometimes it's the hunters that will be the one to even safeguard the village. So they didn't do the hunters well. They didn't depict them well at all. For an epic, I would have loved them to stay true to realities then. But now I just feel like they just formed the story to propel their own story, not really that they were trying to stay true to what these people are in real life.
Okay, so here we are back. I was now saying that I do not know why Karunga has to sleep in his in-laws place on the wedding night. Like, you've married, you have to take your girl away. Why did you have to sleep over in your in-laws place to have the wedding night? And then what did they think they were going to do when, okay, this person seems to have died? How do you rectify it? And when they found out that, okay, the princess was laced with magnum, they didn't ask her, okay, how do you think, what happened or whatever. They did not even consult the Ifa to point out the culprit. Like, they did not even really do any significant research. Basically, the Oyo people were just waiting for everything to fall wherever they may, and they will make the best of the situation. That was just how it seemed. Then moving on, I said, yeah, I think I can't remember if I mentioned the part where they are laughing couldn't even do anything to Basharon when he was making demand. This guy had done so many atrocities and he's there making demands and they are laughing. He was just looking. Come on, come on. Baba Fashogbon, I don't know why he just waited and was just looking at his friend, and as he was doing a lot of atrocities. You called this friend to be able to help you talk to the king and get him to do the right thing. Then this guy starts doing things for his own gain. You did not call him out. You did not even report him to the king and the council. You were just there watching. Even when you wanted to kill Arolake, you were just shaking your head. You knew what the Ifa asked for, and someone else was doing things to his own gain and you did not see anything. I just felt that a lot of people were complicit and they didn't really do things the way they should have done it. And then at the end of the day, basically these are the things that I didn't really like about the movie. And there are still some lot of things left hanging. So we are wondering, okay, is there going to be a season two? So because as an Akudaya now, and because Basharum at one time collected something from Saru to that is like the key for the other dead people to enter the heaven, and Basharan collected that. So it seems like it's the one that is going to lead them there. We don't know their fate. Are they going to enter? What is the fate of Saru? Because at the end of the day, he's an Akudayana. Is he going to go somewhere else and continue his life? What's going to happen? What is the fate of Omowumi now that Karuga's people came to carry her? How is her life going to turn out now? Also, a whole lot of things were just, left. Then, so there's also a lesson there where I don't understand. Is it that Aralake still liked the king, or she was just using it as a ploy to escape death? But it was evident that she still liked Saru. But now there's someone else that seemed to like her and wants to do a whole lot of things for her. And see, the thing just seems so. The timeline, 1 minute, someone within 1 hour we get to a destination, and someone else will do that same destination might take them 3 weeks. So I really do not understand how they did their timeline and how far places out to each other. But at the end of the day, um, I'm thinking, okay, there might be a season two. Maybe a lot of things will be resolved there because there are still some things dangling. However, apropos of nothing, there's this aspect that I am curious about, which is Awolaran, the Basharon's son. Normally in Nigeria, sorry, in Yoruba land, the family trade or religion determines your name too. So if your family worships Oshun, you'll probably hear the name of Oshunfunke, stuff like that. Ifajimi, Odegbemi, stuff like that. So Awolaran is talking about Awo, people that are in the Awo of the this, and Basharon is a warrior. So we can still excuse the name that okay, maybe Basharon is from the family of Awos, and that because of he's into Awo and all that, he has a lot of power, and that's how he became the warrior, the Basharon and all that. But excuse it that Awolaran is from the family of Awo and they have power, so okay, no problem. Now the part I don't understand is why is he into carving agbegilere or stuff like that. So there was no explanation to how he loved that, and don't let's forget that this guy was not in the movie. Certainly, he was supposed to have been a very good childhood friend of Omowumi who loves her, and we didn't see him in the first movie. And maybe they had said, oh, he traveled somewhere to go and carve things, and then when he came back, wanted to rekindle his love. Now I understand, but it's supposed to be like this guy has always been there, but he was not there in that other one. If not for how things happened, Omowumi was on Saru himself. She was interested, so it was because of that that she raised her alarm when she saw that, oh, someone else is there before me. So I would have loved to know more about how someone that is supposed to be a warrior's son, who could probably be into Owl's family, is now a carver. I know that the father did not like it, but they did not really explain. So I thought, okay, as this thing is now going to be more in depth as a series, I thought we'll know a little bit more of Saro's life in Bogon before it came to all this, before it came here. But I don't know. So it seems like Saro's life is usually compartmented. Bogon's life ended, this one ended, that one ended. So we don't know if there's going to be another season, if they will even link it to any of these things. So I'm not going to say that there's still no story because I thought there was still no story, but they showed me that there's still story and they did it well. I should not lie. Yeah, one other thing that I really loved is Saro's character development. He was a jerk, a douche, a playboy from the movie, even to a bit of early of the series, but later on he developed better, he understood his problems, he apologized, and he actually really cared about his new family, that he even sent message for someone to look after them, stuff like that. Unlike before where the life just ended like that, never even looked back. So if there's going to be another story, maybe we'll see more of this development. Maybe we'll see this development and we'll now see more. Maybe even go back to look for his previous family. I don't know. I don't know. So long story short, I think I've mentioned everything. I Now to the rating. So I was already, with euphoria of everything when I finished watching. I was like, okay, I did not expect there to be a story, but there was still a story. They did it well. There was cinematography, this and that. However, as a Yoruba person that has inkling or that has at least a bit of fact about these things, something stood out to me. And although it didn't really take me out completely, but I was like, no, this is not how it's supposed to be. Okay, you're just writing it for the story's sake, but not for the facts of what can actually happen. So initially I was like, okay, I'll give it a 4. But later when I wrote all these things, and I'm like, okay, this thing is actually a lot. These things that I want to talk about are quite weighty and a lot that I cannot give it a 4. So when I went back to watch my previous review, I saw that, oh, I even gave it a 4 then. Unfortunately, I have to bring it down to a 3.5 because they still brought out the story where I thought there was none, and they did it well. It was exciting. If there's going to be a season 2, I'm going to watch it. Let's see how it goes. So that is it for now, guys. Thank you very much.